this third year was like really cool, like completely different team than like my first nationals. So a much different vibe, but like something that you learn with wrestling is nothing is ever given. So just the opportunity to go and like not only represent Liberty, but like get to just spend that week with my team and knowing that this is like, that was the last time that I was going to compete for Liberty, I think made me a little bit more motivated, but also made me a little bit more like aware. And without my teammates, I wouldn't want to wrestle. So like to be able to go and compete with them, I think was the best part of that.
I was so excited to be at such a big venue and to feel like I deserved to be there. And just to experience wrestling alongside our men's team was just a new experience that felt like, made the whole team feel like a family.
Just being able to see so many amazing wrestlers compete in one spot, it's really cool.
It was honestly our only chance this year to wrestle folk style, so we were excited to see how the girls were going to do, but they did awesome, and so I think it was nice to have the transition from freestyle all season long, and then folk style seemed to come a little bit easier since we had competed so hard throughout the season.
It was just, you know, you work so hard the whole year. These girls put in a lot of effort, a lot of time, and so for them to be able to be finally competing at what they worked so hard for, and to be able to see that their labor and their hard work is paying off, that was just a really exciting, fulfilling experience.
There was a lot more travel, but it just overall we had more freestyle matches like going into nationals, but we didn't wrestle folk style matches in a competitive setting until we got to nationals. But I mean, I will speak for my teammates. They're like great. They're like phenomenal wrestlers. So they were able to like take freestyle and folk style because they wrestled folk style in high school, and they just like adapt so well that they're like amazing wrestlers, like in both styles of wrestling, and that was obvious with like how well Miley did at nationals and how well Claudia did at nationals. So it was like really cool to like see them adapt well. So even though we didn't like compete at like that high of a scale until then, I think that they still like showed up very well.
Growing up, I wrestled folk style, and it felt very comfortable to me. And being able to wrestle all these other girls who wrestled folk style, it was a new learning experience that strengthened my weaknesses and solidified my strengths.
I think our coach actually did a really good job at just continuing to set up meets and contacting everyone, so we were able to get as much experience as possible.
Some of our girls got up to 30 matches in this season, which is the most any girl from LU Wrestling has ever been able to wrestle. So I was very thankful, pleased with our schedule this year, and I hope to keep it at this and grow it to be larger. But I definitely think just the mat time allowed them to be ready for what they were going to experience at nationals.
I always say small but mighty, so even though there was a small number of us, I still feel like we show up really like well. But I know that the program will continue to grow. I mean, women's wrestling is growing like crazy across the nation, so it's just doing well at competitions like that and getting our name out there and like going to freestyle tournaments like we did this year and being like tough to wrestle, like that puts our name out there and people being like, oh, like they have a women's program. So
just being able to experience new people and new styles will strengthen our wrestling skills.
It's our goal to bring in more girls that have high school experience, so that they're able to really jump into where we're at and just keep the ball rolling and keep moving forward and growing as a team. And our eyes are still on the prize of being able to win a national title and to be able to keep growing and competing at that level. And so we've been really just praying that the Lord would bring women to our team who we can pour into, but who can also just build the sport and represent Liberty well.